We are the Sentinels of Terror, a bulwark against the darkness. We have defended the throne world for more than 10 millennia. Never have we faltered nor given ground. Not even in the face of annihilation. While even one of us remains, the Imperium has hope. For we will never yield, never cease to fight. Ours is the duty to stand our ground, no matter the odds. We are determination incarnate. We are the last wall. Let the enemy come. I, Tor Garadon, will lead you. We shall stand. They shall fall.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. How amazing was that? I have been waiting so long for the Imperial Fist trailer and it was amazing. It was glorious. It was everything I hoped for. Glorious Tor Garadon telling people why we are the best, why we defended Terra on numerous occasions, protected Terra, saved the Imperium. Without us, the Emperor would be no more. Everything, you Blood Angels, you Salamanders, you bloody Ultramarines, I think it's Ultramarines, you'd be nothing. You'd be nothing without us. So remember that next time you come to insult us. So as well as getting that kick-ass trailer, we got a full article dedicated towards us, as we do when these codex releases. It goes over who are the Imperial Fist, and it also goes over some of the rules as well. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to make a video, and we're going to talk about the rules and how I like them. I more or less know all these rules anyway, but I'm just going to give you my thoughts and feedback on them. So let's start with who are the Imperial Fist. The Imperial Fist are a first founding chapter renowned for their stoicism in battle. Their discipline and siegecraft is beyond compare. Throughout the Imperium, we are the masters when it comes to building castles. It's with good reason that the Emperor chose the Imperial Fist to staunchly faithful Primarch Rogel Dorn to mastermind their defense at Terra at the climax of the Horus Heresy. Again, if it weren't for Dorn, bye-bye Terra, bye-bye Emperor, hello Horus, all down to us. For the 10 millennia, the Imperial Sith have defended the Sol System and crushed the enemies of mankind all across the galaxy from aboard their matchless star fortress, the Phalanx. The Phalanx, the biggest and baddest starship in the Imperium, probably in the galaxy. I would argue in the galaxy. You know, maybe some Xenos have some dirty tech, but we don't really regard that because we have the best stuff. So let's go over to the rules. Now, the main rule when it comes to the Imperial Fist is called Siege Masters. This, which is already in the Spaceman Codex for user not aware, it says, when resolving an attack made with a ranged weapon by a model with this tactic, the target does not receive the benefit of cover to its saving throw, and if the attack scored was made by a bolt weapon on a modified, bloody hell, I can't even speak, I'm that excited, on a modified hit roll of 6, scores 1 additional hit. So basically, if you've got bolters, heavy bolters, bolt weapons, and you roll your dice and you get a 6, you basically get to do another dice because you get another hit, because we are awesome. And your cover, you think you're safe hiding in a building? No. We shall purge that building with you inside of it. So don't think you're going to get in all your throwing saves because you're in a window. It doesn't work that way for the Imperial Fists. Now, on top of that, we get something called the Legacy of Dorn. And this works with the Devastate Doctrine. The Devastate Doctrine is by far the best doctrine. I just don't get out of it because it's just so good when it comes to purging your foes. Please put arguments down below on why to leave the Devastated Doctrine, and I will laugh at you because the Devastated Doctrine is amazing. So it says, whilst in the Devastated Doctrine is active, when resolving an attack made with a heavy weapon by a model with this ability against a vehicle or building unit, add 1 to the damage characteristics of that weapon for that attack. That, my friends, is absolutely bloody glorious. So heavy weapons, heavy hellblasters, the bloody repulsor tanks, the executioner tanks, which is like 95% heavy bloody weapons. You got heavy bolters. It's simply amazing, right? Put this into perspective. If you shoot your heavy laser destroyer 4 times and the damage goes through, so let's say, for example, not for example, you're an Imperial Fist, you have your Executioner battle tank, you're firing at Strength 10, AP -5, if I'm not mistaken, because you get the -1 in the Devastated Doctrine anyway, and if that goes through, you're doing a minimum of 4 damage. 4 damage per dice that goes through, because you roll a d6, and if you get a 1 to a 3, it instantly, sorry, if you get a 1 or a 2, it instantly bumps it up to a 3. But of course with this, with the +1 damage to that heavy weapon, that means it's a minimum of 4 damage with the heavy weapon, with the heavy laser destroyer. That's immense. The heavy laser destroyer is fantastic. People were saying at the start, the executioner tanks, I don't really rate them that much. I've said from day one that these things are a mobile fortress of death. I love them. I love them so much, I've ordered a 3rd one. That is how much I bloody love these things. Yeah, you can call me all the names under the sun. I don't really care. I'm just going to purge you from a distance. And don't forget, we're ignoring cover as well. So anything that's in cover, it's amazing. And they have like heavy bolters on, so more heavy weapons. Oh, it's fantastic. Right, let's move on to the next one. So this is a warlord trait, and this is called Indomitable. So it says, the Imperial Fist refuses to yield whilst his foes remain before him. So it's basically going into Gandalf mode. I shall not be moved. Or what is it? You shall not pass. I don't bloody know. I haven't watched it in ages. So the rule is, when resolving an attack made against this warlord, an unmodified wound roll of a 1/3 always fails, irrespective of any ability that weapon or model making that attack may have. So if your friend is like, haha, wounding you on 2s, haha, look at all them 2s, you're like, haha, Indomitable, have that. I'm a glorious son of Dorn. I shall not be moved. Make sure that when this passes, you say to them, you shall not pass. Scream it in their face until they cower under the table. Moving on, we have some of the librarian stuff. This is called the Rack and Ruin. So Rack and Ruin has a warp charge value of 6. If manifested, select 1 building unit within 18 inches of and visible to this psyker, or select 1 enemy unit that is wholly within or on a terrain feature, bloody hell, this is a mouthful, and is within 18 inches and visible to the psyker, bloody hell, this is a mouthful. Roll 9d6, adding 1 to the result if the unit you selected was a building. For each roll of 5+, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. So if the dice gods are with you, you can definitely do some damage. The problem is that I found, and this is one of my real disadvantages to this, is that, yes, I get the whole building damage things, and this is with the whole trait, the Legacy of Dorn as well, but I cannot recall ever seeing anyone deploy a building. Like, when I'm really trying to think the last time someone used a building when it comes to the rules. I cannot remember off the top of my head. Maybe you have friends that use buildings, but for me, that's a no-no. Next are relics. So this is one of the relics that is previewed off. Now, for those of you who don't know, and we'll go into this in a second, the actual supplement contains Crimson Fist and Imperial Fist relics, rules, and stratagems. So, it's a mix between the two. If I remember off the top of my head, it's mostly Imperial Fist, though, with a little side coating of Crimson Fists. So this relic, it says the Imperial Fist model only. When resolving an attack made with a ranged weapon by a model in an Imperial Fist unit that is within 6 inches of a friendly model with this relic, reroll wound rolls of 1. So I find that pretty cool, because technically, you can put this on your captain, and he basically becomes a captain/lieutenant. So you can really, save the points on a lieutenant and just take this with him, and maybe invest that into something else. I don't know, like a psyker or more bolt bloody guns, because we know heavy weapons and bolt guns are the way to go for the glorious sons of Dorn. Next, we have a stratagem, and this stratagem, I think I'm going to use this so much, so much, because it really is good. It goes back to the whole heavy rule again. So this is called Praetorian's Wrath. The Sons of Dorn favour heavy weaponry and explosives, applying these blunt and decisive solutions wherever possible. Use this stratagem at the start of your movement phase. If the Devastated Doctrine is active, why wouldn't it not be active? You are absolutely out of your mind if you are getting out the Devastated Doctrine. Until the start of your next movement phase, when resolving an attack made with a heavy or grenade, which is basically everything on the Executioner tank, which again excites me. When resolving an attack made with a heavy or grenade weapon by an Imperial Fist model from your army, on an unmodified wound roll of 6, the armor penetration characteristic of that weapon is improved by an additional 1 for attacks. You can only use this stratagem once per battle. Of course, yeah. If you're using this more than that, then yeah, it's got to be so imbalanced. But I really like that. Again, when it comes to stuff like the, I keep going back to the execution tank. You've got the heavy 12 Gatling cannon, you've got the heavy laser destroyer, you've got the heavy bolters, you've got the iron hail, you've got the other iron hail, which bloody shoots down, which is made for flies and stuff like that. These are all heavy weapons, and it has grenade launchers on it as well. The only thing that is not is the rapid fire, which are the storm bolters, and I think there's 4 storm bolters shots on the execution tank. Everything else is heavy. Everything else is heavy or grenade. So the amount of DACA you can put out, and potentially the extra man. Do you imagine AP -6? Strength 10, heavy laser destroyer. Just think of it, just for a second. Strength 10, AP -6. Everything is going bye-bye. Everything is going bye-bye. Minimum damage of 4. Holy Emperor of Mankind. I can almost taste the Iron Warrior tears in my mouth, and they taste delicious. Now, as I mentioned before, it's not all down to the Imperial Fist. The Crimson Fist are getting some love as well, which is great, because we all love some Crimson Fist in our life. So the Crimson Fist get some relics in here, and they get some stratagems and stuff like that. And one of the things they're showing off is called the Fist of Vengeance. So this is a relic Power Fist. So the Crimson Fist model with a Power Fist only. This relic replaces the Power Fist and has the following profile. Fist of Vengeance, range is melee, type melee, strength is ×2, AP is -3, and the damage is 3. There is more stuff on there, hopefully this weekend, because I know the NDA lift for everyone else. I know I'm not under NDA or anything like that, but I got it sent to me. But I don't want to be a massive dick and start leaking things just for the sake of getting clicks and stuff like that. So once they start putting their videos out, I'm going to do a live stream and I'm going to show off everything, and we can just go through it all and have a nice little gander at it all and stuff like that. But yes, there's plenty more Crimson Fist stuff. There's plenty more Crimson Fist stratagems and relics actually in the book. Also, I just want to talk about real quickly, there's no Black Templar stuff. For those asking, Varak, what Black Templar stuff is in there? There's nothing. Absolutely zero Black Templar stuff in this codex, in this supplement, let's say. I am going to be doing a video covering that, because Psychic Awakening is on the horizon, and GW are basically revving up with the Templars when it comes to that. So that video will be coming probably tomorrow or the next day, and we can talk about that a little bit more. Anyway, let's move on to Tor Garadon, because this guy not only has an incredible bloody glorious chin, which could support a Thunderhawk landing on it, he also has some pretty kick-ass rules as well. So let's jump in and let's have a look at them. So first off, my boy Tor Garadon is a siege captain. So one of the rules for a siege captain, when resolving an attack made by this model against a vehicle or building unit, add 1 to the damage characteristic of the weapon being used for that attack. Oh, we are going to come up with some fun little combinations with this. So if we actually go down to his weapons now, right? He's got his grav gun, range 18 inches, rapid fire 1, strength 5, AP -3, damage is of course 2 if you're doing it or anything like that. But the thing that gets me very, very pumped up is the Hand of Defiance. So this is basically these Imperial Fist knuckle duster. Strength is ×3, AP is -3, and the damage is 4. But if you do Heroes, what's it called? Might of Heroes. If you cast that on him, if you cast, well, potentially if you can cast that on him with your librarian, let's say you have a librarian, then his strength, since it's ×3, because his strength is 12, but you get an extra strength in your characteristics, so it's strength 15. This guy is basically just going to be like a walking night killer, going around punching anything to death. No one can survive his glorious fisting. He's basically like One Punch Man, but even better, because he would annihilate One Punch Man with a strength a ×3 strength 15 punch. It is absolutely bloody amazing. And adding to that, he has something called Sigma Ray as well. So at the start of your shooting phase, you can select one friendly Imperial Fist unit that was within 3 inches of this model. Selector was in 3 inches of this model. Model in the selected unit have a ballistic skill characteristics of 2+ until the end of that phase. So the thing that instantly jumps in my mind about this, say you've got an executioner tank which has gone down a tier. Let's just say the enemy put all the fire into it, and let's say it's, shooting on 5s. Just put Sigma Ray in it, and then it's 2+ in the ballistic skill. It's even better than it was at full strength. You thought you could take me down. Well, have this then. Pew, 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 pew. I'm just so excited. I am. You can probably tell by my voice. This is an amazing time for me as a glorious fist. I love it. I love every last thing in this codex. I think it's going to be an amazing codex. I'm going to put it up there with the Iron Hand codex. I think Iron Hands just outdoes it for the strength wise, but I think we have more diversity when it comes to other units. The Iron Hands one is just, hey, just get Executioners and Ferios. That's it. We have a little bit more to add to our army. So yeah, do you know what? My fanboy's got to come out. We're better than the Iron Hands. Screw them. They haven't got heads, and their father was killed like a mug. What you gonna do, Iron Hands? Come at me. Right, that is me done for another video. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Leave all your thoughts, comments, everything down in the description. Not description, the comment section down below, where we can have a nice little chat down there. See you now, and bye-bye. Glorious fisting awaits.